Another left-hander for England. Jack Russell comes in at number 7. That's turned a lot. He's so well back on his stumps and gone. Another victim for Ramprakash. And England are really struggling now. 6 down for 75. And Jack Russell has gone. And another duck on the wall.
Well, the only doubt you have to have here is whether it's going to miss leg stump. It turns a lot out of the rough. And I reckon that's probably a very good decision. When it actually strikes Jack Russell, it hits him around about off stump. I think Darrell Hare has got that exactly right. Unfortunately for Jack Russell, he goes for naught, and England in all kinds of trouble at 75 for 6.
Robert Croft joined Ramprakash for the last 8 overs, in which 12 runs were added. So there's the sorry story of England's collapse, due more to lack of conviction than any horrors in the pitch. At one stage they lost 5 for 38, but Ramprakash at least looked very composed. Welsh in his 100th test took his 100th wicket against England, and Ramprakash in his first took his first, and he added Russell as well, and he'll be expecting more tomorrow. So England in all sorts of trouble, still 265 runs behind.
Now on BBC Two, Jonathan Agnew guides us through the latest state of play in the cricket from the West Indies.
They honour their centurions here in Georgetown, and after adding a further 18 runs to his overnight score, Shivnarine Chanderpaul became the latest Guyanese batsman to be painted onto the Roll of Honour. But he isn't the only member of the 100 Club here this week. Courtney Walsh has played 100 times for his country, and yesterday he took his 100th wicket against England. But any player will tell you that the first test is the most special, and yesterday new cap Dinny Ramprakash celebrated his call-up with 2 wickets as West Indies took control of this 4th test match.
Good morning and welcome back to Georgetown, where I've left the cricket ground in search of a lucky omen for England. And this is the best I could do, not just because this grand old lady is such a stirring reminder of the great British Empire, but because this particular statue has a reputation for being a bit of a rainmaker. For years she lay discarded in the gardens of the Parliament building just down the road from here. That's where she lost her nose, and locals say she's so upset about this she put a curse on the test matches, and whenever they try to play cricket here she made it rain. Well, now she's back fully restored, apart from her nose I'm afraid, in front of this wonderful High Court building here, and the result is the sun has shone ever since. Well, a look at the scoreboard will tell you why England are praying for rain today. They're 265 runs behind the West Indies after the centurion Walsh and debutant Ramprakash helped reduce them to 87 for 6 late yesterday afternoon. Well, the first thing England have to do today is to avoid the follow-on. They need 66 more runs with only 4 wickets in hand to do that, and that's a very stiff target indeed. So we'll go back inside the ground and take a look at this deteriorating pitch with another old monument, Michael Holding.
Monument, Jonathan, I think relic might be more appropriate. But let's go and have a good look at this pitch. This is what we are interested in today. Again, we see the grassy areas. Remember pointing them out yesterday. Undisturbed areas once the grass has been growing on the surface of the pitch. The roots have held it together and no problems there. But just beyond this grassy area, you can see the pitch is looking quite a bit different. All these areas have been disturbed because the balls have landing in these areas and no grass roots to hold it together. totally destroyed. Lots of balls have been exploding out of this area. Although they've not really exploded at the batsman, you can see the surface exploding and pieces coming out. But what might be even more important than that particular area, because the fast bowlers have been hitting that area, but not consistently, is, as usual, the bowlers follow through. We can see here that Ramnarayan has already exploited this area. We saw when left-handed Jack Russell got out LBW, the ball pitched in this area, spun back quite appreciably, and I think Ramnarayan will be very interested in these areas again today. If he hits consistently in these worn areas, I don't think the batsman will be able to negotiate him too well.
Well, thank you, Michael. We'll join the action now in the 4th over of the morning. Bishop is bowling to Ramprakash, and 4 runs have been added to the overnight total.
Ramnarayan very quick, just the 2 runs. More runs for Ramprakash. Showing Campbell's very quick, but he can't get there. It's a very good boundary to Ramprakash. England advancing to 97 for 6. The England 100 comes up. It's taken them a long while. This is the 54th over. Run rate of just 1.88.
Stumping chance. They're never easy when they come in between bat and pad. But my word, he was a long, long way down the pitch, Croft. And I think that David Williams will feel that 8 times out of 10 he'd make that count for him.
Well, he's a long, long way down the wicket. I'm afraid he's not even close to that. But it's a pretty ordinary piece of keeping. That's regulation. That should be taken at this level and stumped. Long way down. There's a big gap there, and he's not even close, is he? I'm afraid you have to say that it's not the best piece of wicket keeping I've seen.
The very best of Bishop was quite some time ago, before his back injury. Since that back injury, he's been prone primarily to that sort of ball, firing down the leg side and allowing, well, almost a free hit, really, in the leg glance.
Fine stroke, magnificent. That brings up the 50 partnership with tremendous authority. Well, off goes the dog, having a little bit of fun with Courtney Walsh between overs. Goes all the way. Just a little deflection.
It's out now. The good job done by Croft is over. A few high fives out there by the West Indies. I wonder if Croft has done enough.
I think he'll be very disappointed. He has been trying to play a few attacking shots, Robert Croft, and that was a cut shot that didn't quite come off. Good catch by Brian Lara. Carl Hooper had been keeping that off-stump line just outside the off-stump, and it has paid dividends. Robert Croft goes for 26. Pretty good innings. It's 139 for 7.
Dean Headley is England's new batsman.
Cut it right out!
Clearly, that's good work from Lara.
And get the impression, Mark, that this morning the West Indies team went out there thinking to themselves, well, first innings, foregone conclusion, we'll get these 4 wickets quickly.
Gone, must be a thin edge, and is. Headley didn't look entirely happy, but Seemed to me as if there was a sound from our stump microphone. Headley goes for nothing. England back in big trouble.
And the straight delivery again, the one that doesn't turn, goes through the arm. Very, very thin edge. Very, very thin edge. Dean Headley a bit disappointed that he did get the edge, but David Williams is elated. He hasn't taken too many in recent times. 139 for 8.
Here's Angus Fraser, England's number 10 batsman. 2 wickets have fallen in quick succession. Fraser, oh, gone. The minute Ramprakash had a chance, he made it work. Lara running back at slip, took the catch. And England are in trouble now. They're 9 down. There are 2 balls of the over left. Phil Tufnell is the man coming to the crease.
Definitely in trouble now, England. Looking to sweep against the spin here and got the back of the bat. Lara had to make good ground, but he made it quite comfortably and a very simple catch in the end. Ramprakash strikes again. That's what the West Indies were hoping for, that he would bowl to Angus Fraser. It's 140 for 9.
Hit it hard and got 4 for it. This is clever play from Mark Ramprakash. He moves to 44 now. It's a very good innings. He's got it. Well, Walsh will be very disappointed with that. Amazing morning's cricket it's been for any number of reasons. 150 has come up for England. They need 3 to avoid the follow-on.
That's one of them. Ramprakash on to 49. Edged, and Williams hasn't got the ball. Has it carried to him?
No, I don't think he did. I think it bounced short. Walsh was tailing off towards the pavilion, thinking he got him. Short. Just short of Williams.
Ramprakash is going for it and gets there. That's his 50. A terrific effort. Warm applause from his teammates, all the England camp and the supporters from back home. Splendid effort. England exactly 200 runs behind. And it's gone through Lara, and the West Indies will be batting next. More runs for Ramprakash, and 4 of them. Outfield really is lightning quick under this baking sun. And eventually, here he is. Ambrose is back. He bowled the 20th over of this innings. This will be the 84th. Straight away a bit more action.
Well, there's obviously nothing wrong with Ambrose. He's run in first ball, banged it in short, and Tufnell has taken evasive action to get out of the way. That's exactly what's required by the fielding side when you've got 9, 10 and 11 batting. Give him a bit of the hurry up.
6.5 overs after it was due, the new ball is taken.
Oh! No ball. He's put it down, but it's a no ball. Ball in the air. And in fact, Tufnell didn't do bad to get a bat onto that. He's grinning all over his face.
My job's to try and commentate on that shot, and I'm not quite sure how to describe it. But I think Brian Lara will be a relieved man, because he certainly didn't know that was a no ball.
Lovely shot. Magnificent, perfect off drive for 4.
Classic off drive. Pitched, perfect follow through. The people who write the textbooks would struggle to make that any better. Magnificent shot.
It's a chance now for Ambrose just to round things off here at border. He'll bowl to Phil Tufnell. And he's gone. Straight into the hands of cover. Ian Bishop holds the catch, and Ambrose finishes things off as he felt that he might have if he'd been given the opportunity earlier.
So the follow-on was safely avoided, although Lara's tactics were completely baffling. Ramprakash was involved in partnerships of 64 with Croft and 30 with Tufnell, and that was Ramprakash's 3rd Test 50. Hopefully, that'll give him the confidence he's lacked in the past. West Indies bowling, well, they've all got good figures. For some reason, Ambrose bowled only 13 deliveries today, while Ramnarine made a very promising debut. The focal point of central Georgetown is the magnificent St George's Cathedral. It was built in 1892, entirely out of wood, and in fact it's the tallest wooden building in the world. One of the most stunning features is this stained glass window above the high altar. Wonderful, isn't it? But then maybe I'm biased, because my family, who were involved in the sugar business out here, donated that window to the cathedral at the turn of the century. And in fact, they're still involved. Apart from the beautiful stained glass windows, there's a corona over the central altar that was presented to the cathedral by Queen Victoria, and records of marriages and baptisms dating back to 1796 are carefully preserved in the nearby deanery. This is the chancel, home to the choir and the clergy, and this is where the dean sits, in a cushion made by my uncle, who's rather handier with a needle and cotton than I am. So West Indies lead by 182 runs. We'll pick up play in the 2nd over. Dean Headley is bowling to Stuart Williams without a run on the board.
It'll be worth 4 for the West Indies. It's off the legs of Stuart Williams.
That 6-2 in Port of Spain certainly was a very important knock for the West Indies. He needs to put another good knock, or a couple of good knocks together, I would think. Now Stuart Williams.
Oh, very, very well caught. A lovely low catch. Williams pushing out at the swinging ball that Michael Holding had just spoken about, and paying the price for doing so. It's 4 for 1 now, the West Indies, and England love it.
Swinging it and then getting it in the right spot. Well, both things right there, both things being perfect. The ball was reasonably well pitched up, just outside the off stump, swinging, and the outside edge found. Stuart Williams a pass for 0. It's 4 for 1.
There's Brian Lara. He's had a good reception. I've got to tell you that Stuart Williams didn't have. They're very keen for Clayton Lambert to get into the side around these parts. Really any need to chase it. It's given a lovely clean thump. Those innings have all threatened. They've all had their sparkling moments. The 17 was the most tortured of them. But you feel something bigger is around the corner. Oh, dropped it. It wasn't easy. Oh, Mark Butcher, the man. My goodness, now what a moment that would have been if it had been held. Amazing stroke, and it just went so quickly, I think. fantastic. Really a thrill to watch. Oh. Hey! Bit of flourish as well. How pleasing to see Sherwin Campbell showing a bit of form. He's a gifted player.
Yes, Darryl Hare's finger goes up. Campbell will have to go. He's been given out, caught at back pad. Particularly happy about this decision.
Certainly two noises. Very difficult to tell. And I think it's one of those that the instant reaction by everybody rather makes you feel that they felt quite genuinely that he'd got some bat or glove on it.
Shivnarine Chanderpaul comes in to replace Sir Sherwin Campbell.
It's another wicket for Angus Fraser. That was his 50th wicket in the West Indies, the leading wicket taker now.
Chanderpaul wants a single, they'll have to hurry. A direct hit, Darryl Hare asks for the third umpire. Hussain thinks he's got Chanderpaul, and he could well be right.
And I think the reaction, the body language of Chanderpaul, he's worried. The England boys feel they might have him. Tremendous piece of fielding, whatever from Nasser Hussain.
The bat has to be over the line, on the line's no good to Chanderpaul. Peter Montfort's the man who's making the decision. Now, what's Peter Montfort make of this? And he's gone. The decision is out. And Chanderpaul goes for naught, run out. And the West Indies are making a bit of a hash of today's play. Vice-captain Carl Hooper's come out to join his captain. Big shout from the bowler and wicket-keeper.
It's a good appeal. Just outside the line, Carl Hooper might well have hit the stumps. But the ball has got to strike him in line with the stumps. I think that was just outside. But you'd have to give it 9.5 out of 10 for the appeal. You don't ask, you don't get.
Hooper off the mark, through straight mid-on. Very impressive zoological gardens here in Georgetown.
In the air, but plenty of empty space up there. And the spin of the ball carrying it into the boards, so 4 runs to Lara. Must have got a lot of satisfaction from England's performance today. Coming back is Mick Jagger.
Well, that is delicately played. Swept from an off-stump, maybe even outside off-stump line. Swept very fine for 4. It's a class shot. Must be out, yeah. Lara down the wicket, inside edge, onto pad, and snapped up at silly point. Tufnell has got Lara.
Well, that's exactly what the West Indies did not want at this point. Lara trying just to keep him out of that rough area, using his feet, but it landed in the rough, a bit of turn, inside edge, onto the pad, and then finally Steve Buckner decides, well, that is out. 75 for 4.
One left-hander replaces another. Jimmy Adams from Jamaica comes in at number 6 for the West Indies. And he's there because his captain has been given out, caught by Mark Butcher at silly point. Look at this, just watch this closely. Onto the pad now. Was there a bat there afterwards? Or was the second noise. There were two noises. Was the second noise the bat making contact with either ground or Lara's pad? Good shot from Jimmy Adams, controlled all along the floor, through wide mid-on. Gets him off the mark.
Very good stroke. There's a big gap there. Hooper knew it. He wasn't bothered that he was hitting the ball in the air. He just made sure he hit it in the right place, and he timed it pretty well.
A lot of wrist in the shot. And no one out there. Free hit.
He's played that stroke 2 or 3 times now, Hooper. He's got nice touch in his batting. OK, here is Dean Headley into the attack, as Michael Atherton indicated, and over a go now. Oh, I say, that's probably not done enough. Oh, he's given it out. Well, Kyle Hooper offering no stroke to one that nipped back, and Michael Atherton's move has worked the oracle. Just the man England needed.
Now, this comes back quite a long way. Now, where does it hit Kyle Hooper? Hits him on the move. I think he might just be a little unlucky with that one.
David Williams is at the crease. He won't be full of confidence. He's just made 3 noughts in a row.
Well, this could be tight.
As it is, it's 5, and he's got off the pair. That was a man desperate. My goodness me.
Well, he might be smiling now. I don't think he was close. I think he was way out. If that had hit, he was hardly in the frame. That is a terrible run.
Put it down. That was not a difficult chance. Bottom edge into the gloves.
Well, bottom edge chances are always a little bit more difficult, but that looked to go straight in and out. Bit of good fortune for Adams.
And just to rub salt in the wounds, a little tickle down the leg side for 4, which brings up the West Indies, the lead by 300.
Going to see Mark Ramprakash having a bowl. Well, Atherton's done the trick. That's a magnificent catch. The change bowler has done it. Williams goes. And the England players are very surprised to find the identity of the fielder.
Well, swapping positions here. Normally it would have been Tufnell, the bowler, Ramprakash, the catcher. This time it's Ramprakash, the bowler, and Tufnell, the catcher.
Ian Bishop made a useful 14 runs in the first innings. Brian Lara will hope he can do at least that in this second innings. And again, Darrell Hare won't have it from Jimmy Adams. For the second time in the match, Darrell Hare gives out Jimmy Adams playing no stroke, according to the umpire. Adams might not agree with him, but he's gone as well. The West Indies 7 down now. England have worked their way down to number 9 in the West Indies order. Curtly Ambrose comes in to join Ian Bishop. Neither of them have got off the mark. And he's gone as well. This time it's Ambrose not playing a shot. He can't believe it. He thinks he's got about 5 feet down the pitch, but that makes no difference to Darrell Hare. He's determined to make these West Indians use their bats. Ambrose goes, and the West Indies 8 wickets down for 127. Wickets tumbling at border. Now we've got down to Courtney Walsh, not number 11 today. Inside edge onto pad, and taken by Jack Russell. Courtney Walsh has gone, and that will be the end of play for the day. And what a comeback by England.
Well, West Indies batted as if they had an early plane to catch. The tactics have been curious today. Lara and Hooper put on 61 for the 4th wicket. We couldn't escape the feeling that the West Indies, at least, feel they've already got enough runs. Wickets for all the England bowlers, even a first for Ramprakash to complete a memorable day for him, and they all kept the pressure on this afternoon. And that's the situation. West Indies lead by 309 with 1 wicket in hand. Well, England already know they'll be chasing a huge total on a pitch which looks horrible, which has hardly been responsible for a single one of the 29 wickets to fall so far. It'll be a very tall order, but England have at least fought their way back into contention to set up the prospect of a terrific 4th day tomorrow. From us all here, good night.
Honour.
England's 100.